nothing wrong. It's just small stream in bed. God, it feels so interesting to be able to stream in my bed. This would have been really good.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty fine.
You haven't done horses yet?
Had to go to bed.
Vicky's at 9 something.
Okay, that is good to hear.
You might want to bring in one of the red rakes with you because your lizard looks like it took a horse shit. Good.
Hi, why so many contrives?
That's an episode. Yes, I'm gonna make 58 countries.
Hey, how are you doing? Hi, why so many contrives? Oh my. Why? Are you playing on Bedrock?
Yes, I'm playing on Bedrock. My TV actually is, well, my bed is facing this way. Like, my bed is facing this way. And my TV is angled this way. It's facing this way, so there's a 45 degree.
Will you be on Tom Row because I have to at 800 hours me time.
PragerU in the politics of pain. God, PragerU is like just completely cancerous.
The sore backs, and all the stumbles in between. Travel can be a pain. Advil, the pain away.
To those dedicated to making an impact in the lives of others.
No.
The other day, I was browsing YouTube on
I'm getting advertised PragerU. Oh my god. Watch now. American founder and second president John Adams for PragerU. I want to be subjected to conservative, like, propaganda. And no. I hate both political parties, to be honest with you. They both are annoying. Democrats are just stupid. Conservatives are just annoying. In my opinion, that is. They both are just led by old idiots that don't know how to run the country. And one person's watching.
Party.
Does anybody hear that thudding outside my door?
I had to turn off because I heard walking upstairs, so. Yeah. And I'm the SNG298.
I know, I know, I know.
Okay.
Oh, Lord, here you go again.
My puppy.
Third movie, we know who you are by now.
Come on, come on.
I ran across this community post from PragerU. This post contained a poll with a single sentence. Most of leftism is an avoidance
Of pain. What?
of pain.
That does not make
Agree
sense.
or disagree? Now, my gut instinct, because it's PragerU, was to go, no, of course not, obviously. But the more that I sat and thought about it, the more I wasn't sure that I was right. I wanted to genuinely really engage with this and think about what this statement meant. So that's what this video is for. In this video, I want to figure out 3 things about this post. What does it mean? Is it true or bad? So let's get to it. Before we can even answer the question that they've posed, we need to figure out what they mean by avoidance of pain. Because this is such a weird way to phrase this idea, right? So I did a little bit of digging, and I came across this PragerU video.
Be right back. My dog is dropping this toy over and over at the outside my door, and it's getting extremely annoying. Honey, you need to... She pissed on the carpet. In my defense, she did not ring that bell. Get out of here. Get out. Vamoose. Excuse me, I'm...
They were filming the vaccine to fight the deadliest virus known to humanity.
Be right back, guys.
Okay, Gingy. Wait, what if this is just laser beam? Oh no, not laser beam, not laser beam. We need to know who is Marshmallow. Wait, John Cena? Have you ever wondered what certain Fortnite skins look like? Expect the unexpected. Today we're going to be checking out videos that have an outcome that you'd never see coming. Like this girl lip syncing to a song. Check this out.
Hi, my name is Kellen, and I'm a lady looking for an eligible single man. I can cook, I can clean, and I can...
What?
No! Oh my god!
Watching too much Mario. What? There appears to be a leak somewhere. Is that a hotel? He's only a 6, but he dance.
3 of the hardest things for people to say. I was wrong. I need help. And Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce.
Pick one. What Pokemon is that?
Expect the unexpected. Today This is the story of how I legally robbed Carl. Robbing Carl. Mr. Beast flew me out to compete in one of his challenges when I had the rare opportunity to win an entire GameStop. You can fit the entire store in this triangle. I'll pay for it. What the heck? I quickly got to work bringing my favorite items to the store.
Deadliest virus on Earth.
In the 1970s, thousands of chicken heads rained from the sky in Europe, making foxes and other wildlife confused and very happy. Why? They were filled with a vaccine to fight the deadliest virus known to humanity. Since the 1930s, a rabies epidemic had been sweeping across wildlife populations in Europe, and humans wanted to finally get rid of the virus once and for all. Rabies is named after Lyssa, the ancient Greek spirit of mad rage, and has been haunting us for at least 4,000 years. It can turn animals into angry beasts and humans into zombies that fear water. But what makes Lyssa fascinating is not just how bizarre and deadly its infection is, but also how incredibly good it is at avoiding our defenses.
Ready, and dude, rabies is something
Viruses
different.
exist on the edge between life and death, hardly more than a few genetic instructions that need living cells to multiply. The Lyssa virus is simple even for a virus. It has only 5 genes, that is, the instructions for 5 proteins that let it solve complex problems. Infect a mammal, avoid its immune system, travel to its brain, make more of itself, and infect new hosts. Let's see what happens if you get infected. It all starts with a bite, most likely by a dog carrying millions of viruses in its saliva, pushing them deep into the tissue. The goal is your nerve cells, your neurons. They are living electrochemical wires transferring signals throughout your body and can stretch for up to 1.5 meters with their cellular machinery on one end and a terminal on the other. The terminal is where cells talk to each other by passing chemicals that convey information. Lyssa probably binds to the receptors that are crucial for this process and slips inside the unsuspecting nerve cells. Inside, the virus has to solve a big problem. It needs to get to the cellular machinery to take over the cell and make more viruses, and because neurons are pretty long, this can be far away. There is a solution at hand, though. Cells have microtubules spanning their insides that give them structural integrity, but they also provide a track system for a specialized delivery system. Dynein motors are actual motors that use energy and deliver packages. They're made from 50 different proteins, 10 times more than the virus, and look like a little pair of shoes. Lyssa uses one of its 5 proteins to hijack this amazing system and order it to head for the nucleus. What's the immune system doing to prevent all of that? Well, unfortunately, not much. Usually when a virus attacks, your civilian cells are crucial in activating your immune response. They notice that they've been infected and release hundreds of thousands of a special family of proteins, the interferons that, well, interfere with viruses. We'll have to simplify a lot, but in a nutshell, interferons alert your immune system to make antivirus weapons. But they do much more. They tell civilian cells to turn down their protein factories for a while, which means that viruses can't replicate efficiently anymore. And interferons tell your cells to become super transparent, which is important because how can your immune cells notice that your civilian cells are infected when viruses hide inside them? Your body solves this by creating display windows into their insides called MHC class 1 molecules. Cells constantly produce stuff to stay alive, and to showcase to your immune cells what's going on inside them, they take random samples of their products and put them into these tiny display windows to give a peek inside. Interferons tell your cells to make way more display windows and become super transparent. If a cell is infected and forced to make virus parts, your immune cells will see those parts in a window and order the infected cell to kill itself, and all the viruses trapped within. This is one of the most powerful methods of wiping out a viral infection. Unfortunately, Lyssa blocks your neurons from making interferons and stays basically invisible to your immune system. In contrast to many other viruses, when it replicates, it doesn't kill its host, which would also trigger alarm systems. Instead, it stealthily jumps from neuron to neuron, very slowly making its way to your brain. This phase can take weeks to months, and very rarely even years, and depends on a bunch of things, like if the bite was in your muscles. Lyssa is a patient monster, until it reaches its goal, your brainstem. Finally, the immune system catches on that something isn't right and reacts. It dispatches some of your most powerful antivirus cells, killer T cells, to seek and kill infected cells and wipe out the enemy. In other viral infections, this would be a turning point, but in rabies, the T cells are rushing towards their doom. Simple Lissa, with its 5 proteins, plays a reverse card, using the immune system's ingenuity against itself. Your central nervous system is a very fragile part of your body, and so the immune system has to be very careful. A few haywire immune cells in your brain is a quick way to die. So they aren't free to enter your nervous system, they have to be invited in and can be kicked out. To protect themselves, your nerve cells can order T cells to self-destruct if they think they're overreacting. And Lissa figured out a way to make infected neurons express this order. So as your powerful defense cells arrive, they are ordered to commit suicide.
That sucks.
Now the virus infiltrates the brainstem. Once this stage is reached, you are going to die.
What can you order by 5 p.m. and have in your home tomorrow?
A prostitute.
Of the hundreds of appliances from
How Lissa kills. One of the most irritating things about the Lissa virus is that we still don't know exactly how and why an infected person dies. Our usual idea of viruses causing damage is by multiplying rapidly, killing their host cells once they've made enough copies, triggering a massive immune reaction that also does a lot of damage. But this doesn't seem to be what happens here. Brain tissue of rabies patients shows minimal, sometimes non-existent damage. Instead of murdering everything in sight, it's currently thought that Lissa wreaks havoc by messing up the neuron communication inside your brain, so much so that it can't function anymore. This leads to symptoms like confusion, aggression, and paralysis. Now the virus begins to leave. Still traveling through neurons, it migrates away from the brain and heads for the salivary glands. This is remarkable because after traveling in one direction, the virus reverses its course. After decades of study, we don't know how this works. Lissa ends up saturating your saliva, ready for the irate mammal to bite another, and repeat the cycle. While this seems like the beginning of a zombie outbreak, luckily there are no known cases of a human biting another and spreading rabies this way. Now, the end is near. You are rapidly developing encephalitis, a swelling of the brain with many unpleasant neurological symptoms, from lethargy to paralysis. Slowly at first, and then suddenly, organ after organ fails as you slip into a coma. There is no known effective therapy. Barely anyone has ever survived Lissa once symptoms begin to show. It is by far the deadliest virus we know.
What's its kill rate?
There is actually something that could save you, a vaccine. Rabies was one of the first diseases humans developed a vaccine for. As vaccines do, it prepares your immune system for a future attack, so it has the right weapons ready in high numbers. The horrific tricks of simple Lissa don't work once you are vaccinated. And the vaccine is special for another reason. Because Lissa is so slow in the first few weeks, it can be given to you after you've been exposed. So you can still be vaccinated after you've been bitten by an animal. Which is super important if you've had contact with a sick wild animal, say a bat.
My sister has to get rabies shots because she works at a vet.
Is a monster. One that has followed our species around for thousands of years, that our ancestors were terrified of, and rightly so. It still kills around 60,000 people each year, almost half of them children. We are far from eradicating this monster. It lurks in the shadows, in forests and animals of all kinds, ready to return in greater numbers if we ever forget how to keep it at bay, or if we continue the trend of being suspicious of vaccines. Let's hope that one day humanity slays this monster, so it can become, like most monsters, part of our imagination. There are much deeper levels of knowledge to explore about rabies than the glimpse we just showed you. But digging into
Oh my
sources
god,
and
the
scientific information
brain eating virus.
Okay, so I didn't realize that this was that unusual until I had my friend Steph's 40th birthday.
Oh. How gaming used to be get home, take your backpack and coat off in the winter, just run upstairs and play. Nowadays.
Anyone here? Yep, just me. Oh, well, you want to play some? Nah, I'm gonna hop off. I'm so bored. But it's only 8 o'clock. And what passes?
It's true nowadays. You get on,
Knock.
they are very boring.
Ba-da-ba-ba. Rain.
Remember
Mm-hmm.
someone? Road from school. Me,
Apple bomb
knocking.
jeans, boots with the fur, the whole world looking at.
Evaporation.
Peter, what are you doing here? I'm your nurse. So, what brings you in today, Mr. Quagmire? Look, I don't really feel comfortable sharing my health problems with one of my buddies.
Oh my.
Time to gear up to go buy some more SpongeBob popsicles. Come on, let's go. Of course, I have to grab my SpongeBob backpack. He also makes a perfect co-pilot. When I got to the store, my heart started to pound because I thought they wouldn't have any, but they had 4 left, so I got them. I then put them in my special SpongeBob backpack, then we went on home. Time to open number 1. Number 1's teeth were messed up, and he was also missing an eye. Number 2 wasn't
My
looking
head
too
is
bad
itchy.
until I noticed the teeth and the eyes were just slightly off from being
My head. I have a bubble in my head.
New Astapro, steroid-free allergy relief that starts working in 30 minutes. While other allergy sprays take hours. Now with Astapro Fast Allergy Relief, you can Astapro and go.
Metaportal with Smart Sound.
You know my most hated animal on earth? I hate the most.
So you come through.
Goddamn leeches.
Metaportal, the smart
I hate leeches with a burning passion.
No,
A war
flying
has been going on
mosquitoes.
for
I'm not
billions
flying
of years
leeches.
that breeds
Mosquitoes.
well-armed monsters who struggle with
Yeah, but leeches leave a damn mark on you, like teeth marks.
most of them are
But
relatively.
name like the time you go into a
A
pond
war has
every
been
day.
going on for billions of years that breeds well-armed monsters who
It's
struggle
mostly
with
the
other monsters for
mosquitoes that get you.
survival. Having no particular interest in us, most of them are relatively harmless, as our immune systems deal with their weapons easily. But there are exceptions. Naegleria fowleri is an amoeba that has not only developed a deadly taste for human brains, but is also a match for our defenses and stars in dramatic headlines. What happens when this monster enters your body? Naegleria fowleri is an amoeba, a microbe with a nucleus, one of the smallest life forms on Earth. It is a voracious hunter of bacteria and other critters that it devours whole and rips into pieces. Like many amoebae, it is able to transform into different stages that help it survive. But most of the time, Naegleria fowleri is in its trophozoite stage, during which it looks like a squishy blob with tiny arms, and hunts, divides, and thrives. Its natural home is in fresh water, ponds, rivers, lakes, and hot springs. But, unfortunately, it also feels happy in pipes, swimming pools, fountains, or spas when they're not properly treated. The warmer the water, the more it thrives and multiplies. So in the summer, when humans seek to cool off and enjoy themselves, the chances are highest that both species will interact. Because this makes it hard to avoid, millions of people regularly have contact with the amoeba, especially in warmer climates, and many people even seem to have antibodies against it. And this is mostly okay. You can even swallow it without consequences. Things turn bad when people dive or swim in water contaminated with the amoeba, and water splashes high up into their noses. In a single drop of lake water, there are millions of viruses, bacteria, and amoebae, and that isn't really a big deal. But Naegleria fowleri is different. Let's zoom into the nose of an unsuspecting victim enjoying a great summer day and see what happens. First of all, the amoeba doesn't really want to be inside your nose, as it's not really looking for trouble. It just wants to eat a few bacteria. Instead, it's greeted by your natural defenses. Unfortunately for humans, Naegleria fowleri happens to be exceptionally good at generally flying under the radar of your immune system.
But I do need to go somewhere tomorrow around 9. No, we have to leave around 8. 7 your time.
Invaders or alert immune cells.
We have to go to Everett's doctor
Naegleria
appointment.
fowleri is not particularly bothered by them, and instead calmly checks out the scenery, mildly annoyed about the whole ordeal.
2, 1.
Now, if you are unlucky, the tiny critter stumbles over something that actually sparks its interest. Nerve cells. Your nose is filled with a large network of olfactory nerve cells that pick up molecules from the outside and transmit their information to your olfactory bulb, the center
I'm gonna
of
quit
smell
stream.
in your brain. To do their job, talk to each other by
I
releasing
don't know.